What's up, boys and girls? So this episode's going to be pretty sporadic and filmed over a fair bit of time, but Rex actually dragged the Ute in here over the weekend to do some of our own work. Now, we're pretty close to having this thing on the road, aside from a tune, obviously. It's pretty much ready to go for Rego. One of the last things that we needed to sort out was a windscreen washer bottle, which is what Rex made over the weekend. So, as you can see, nice little alley washer bottle. Got ourselves a Raceworks cup and a little output to our motor, which is nice and easy. And that goes up on that side, on the other side of the battery tray. Mounts to this nupsert here, and nice and happy days. And that's pretty much just about the last thing we needed on this car in order to go for roadworthy sort of deal. Ooh, tray's off, got some spice going on. You can have a really good look at the setup from above without the tray on. Rex made this panel to try and hide what you could see between the tray and the cab there, as you know. And Rex made these spaces just to space the tray up a bit. We thought about cutting some of the bracing out for these guards so that the tyres wouldn't scrub so hard, but just, as you can see, to try and cut this out and move them up a bit, it was just going to be too much of a nightmare. So it was easier just to space the tray up a bit. We're hoping it still looks alright, but we'll find out when we put it back down.
I tested it before, I think it looks okay. I lifted it 15 mil.
15?
So I'm hoping that that's enough.
Yep.
To get a bit more clearance, but it doesn't look silly. So
anyway, you can see exhaust into our turbo. That's the dump pipe there, comes straight out into our exhaust system. It's our gate straight off the side end of that, into screamer.
Bit of heat shielding there for the fuel tank, just to try and
heat shielding, protect that. Our water to air intercooler setup.
Just fix that lid. As butchered as it is, someone had sort of just smashed the top of it out, left a hole in it like that big. So
yep.
Best I can do is just put one of those little breathers in a piece of 8mm
tube.
Yeah, 8mm hose, and just silicone it in. Just keep the gunk out, but let it breathe.
This is our surge tank from the top. Rex just replaced the pump.
That's the old, I think it's a Walbro 255. So
we figured that with how this ended up, obviously when we first built the fuel system and stuff, it was not going to where it is now. As you guys know, things just get out of hand. So Rex just put another pump in there, which should get us a little bit further.
Yeah, that 044, oh sorry, that 255 probably wasn't going to last. And I forget what the part number of this one is. It's a Bosch. It's a 200. The FP716. That's basically an updated, newer version of the 044. It's like, you know, 10% lighter and flows 10% more, blah blah blah. So as much as I really don't like 044s, it's whatever, it'll do the job. At least it's back here. And
basically just, yeah, and again, just using what we've got in stock, lying around, left over from old projects or pulled out of cars. Just the whole theme of this car was just to try and build it as cheap as possible, and that's pretty much how we've done it. And yeah, that pump will get us at least to the point where we're going to run out of injector. That's if we don't run out of turbo first. So,
and then this fuel system's likely going to end up being completely revised once we switch to E. Because if we're going to flex fuel, we'll want to do, like we talked about with the others, like a boost reference return reg and
stage pump.
Yeah, I'll definitely stage a pump, put a second pump in there, but anyway, one thing at a time.
So at the moment we've just got the Boost T in here, again, in the interest of doing it as cheap as possible. But eventually we will put an E-boost in it. And when we do that, they have actual outputs on the E-boost. So we'll use the E-boost to trigger the second pump when that happens. But who knows where this car will end up. It might end up with full aftermarket ECU and stuff in it yet, we don't know. Basically just gonna start out with what you see here and what you've got. And just keep going, and as stuff breaks or limits us, we'll upgrade and update and move forward with it, and who knows where it'll end up. Just going to be a fun sort of shop ute, fun car, content car.
Yeah, I don't think we've mentioned it all, but I had a bit of an issue when I first started the other day where the scavenge pump wasn't working and it was billowing clouds of blue smoke. So I think I've got the scavenge pump working again. We'll just have to basically wait for it to clear itself out and hope that everything's all good.
Might be all over for that turbo before it even begins.
Yeah, well, I did talk to Joel. It looks like it's only the turbo inside, and there's some sort of steel collar seal. So yeah, it should be pretty right.
Yeah, you should be able to just push a seal out. And,
yeah, it should recover. So we'll just see.
Yep.
And if the turbo's cooked, the turbo's cooked, and we'll put our bigger turbo on a bit earlier than we had originally planned. But it is what it is.
We do have out the back a second-hand Pulsar S369, I think it is, or it might even be an S372.
No, it's a 6.9.
6.9, but either way, it's a T4 Pulsar S3 series, so that's pretty much earmarked for if we have any issues with this turbo, or if it's, you know, cooked, or if it limits us, that's going to be the next step, is put the Pulsar on it, which, again, for where the turbo is and the way the setup is, it's probably a pretty good option. But yeah, again, we'll just sort of see how it goes. Looking forward to it. So there are a few things that we may end up changing about this scavenge pump setup and the way the system is. Obviously, there's a few things we've learned since we set the car up. Talking to a few more people that have done these sorts of setups and stuff. There's probably a few things will change, but again, just in the interest of seeing how it goes and what fails first, we're just going to run it as it is and just see. But ultimately, it looks like that scavenge pump, although it was actually purchased from a marine shop quite a while ago, it does look like it is just like a cheap eBay item. There are a lot of people that have commented on videos and stuff like that, basically saying that they've got the exact same pump that they bought off eBay for hardly anything. So we'll just see how it goes. It might die, it might not. And the other important thing is when we revise the setup, we probably will get an actual, we'll make a sump for the turbo drain setup with breathers, so that it basically, it can get pumped into the turbo, drop into a sump, and then the scavenge pump can pump it back from the sump, but there's a breather, so it's not actually drawing the oil out of the core, because the way it's set up at the moment, that scavenge pump actually has the potential to just keep drawing oil out of the core of the turbo, which not sure how that's going to go, not sure if it's going to fail or what it's going to do, but we'll be sure to let you know, and you'll all be along for the ride. So anyway, good look at it all. Spaghetti.
I wonder if we could just avoid the sump if we just had like a T-piece. You could just tee out of it at the bottom of the core and just run a breather tube with a filter.
Yeah, potentially.
Do the same job, it's just that we don't have to make
a sump.
Could
do. Anyway, we'll wait and see. But yeah, we're very close now, pretty much a tune, and off we go, which we're looking forward to. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching anyway. That's the latest episode on the Big Yellow Rig. It's been a hot minute. This video has been filmed over many, many months, little drips and drabs, so I apologise for that. Actually, I'll wait and show you the tray before we sign this off, actually.
Alright, so you can see where that tray sits. Still sort of on line with this body line, so it's not too bad.
I'm happy with it.
About as good as it's going to get.
15 mil clearance.
Rightio, boys and girls, so yeah, that's the biggest update in the LU, latest update. So hopefully next episode we've got this thing on the dyno, and hopefully after that we are getting some registration and starting to use it and get it out and go do some stuff. It's going to be fun. Looking forward to it. Oh, actually, quickly, you have a look at this. Washer bottle installed. So that's where they're all in there. Rex measured it out. Holds about 3 litres, so quite a few washers in there worth of fluid.
It's nice and hidden.
Yep.
It makes it a bit of a pain to get the battery out with all of this shit here, but anyway, it is what it is.
Alright.
Righto guys, I'll just quickly tack this onto the end of this episode instead of starting a new one. But while the tunnel was on the hoist this morning, Rex decided to just keep on going with it and try and make our bash plate. So because of the way we've done this on a mega budget and the sump that we used, which was like the cheapest one we could use to get it to fit.
Oh, it's the muscle car sump, that's what people use.
Yeah, it's just that the sump hangs pretty low. I'm pretty sure if you actually buy proper conversion sumps, buy CRS and stuff like that, they probably don't hang quite as low. So this is just a GM Motorsports muscle car sump, and they're super cheap. It's actually what Mark's four-wheel drive and stuff use, I believe, to start with when they modify their four-wheel drive sumps and cut them and stuff like that. I believe this is the sump they start with. But to buy it in this, guys, is very, very cheap. But as you can see, it hangs quite a bit lower than the actual crossmember does, which is a worry, especially on our roads out here. Not super fun time, because chances of...
Get away with it in Brisbane, but...
Yeah, not out here.
Do it out here.
You end up smacking the sump out. That's what will end up happening.
That one on the highway that's like, you know, on the way out of town.
Yeah, yeah.
You get down the bottom there, that one there. Every time I go over that in the Falcon, I cringe.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, I couldn't
I'm surprised the 19s on the Statesman are still intact. Honestly, it's crazy. So anyway, Rex has just made this big alley bash plate in the hopes that obviously if something hits it or, you know, whatever may happen, it sort of slides off and out of the way instead of collecting the sump. Because that's like just literally a 90-degree sharp edge there too. So if you caught something on it, it would be a bad time.
And I'm gonna have to make like a pair of wings and join them brace them into the chassis there somehow to support the back of it.
Yep.
That's gonna be the hard part. I'll get it done.
Anyway.
Shit. That's just what I could get. That's just some of the crap that came out of the cross member. It's disgusting.
Well, it is 50 years old now.
Nearly.
Yeah.
Well, this is 76. HX. Yeah, 76.
Yeah, I think so.
So, yeah, getting on 50 years old soon. Yeehaw. Also, in the meantime, between yesterday when I sort of signed off and now, we found out that Rocky Nut's entries have sold out, which sucks because we actually really wanted to enter both this and V80, but we haven't been onto it enough to get our entries in, so they're sold out, which sucks ass because the 80 would have actually been... That was weird. Because I reckon the 80 and the off-street drags, like the no-prep street drags, I reckon it would have actually done really, really well. Just because it's four-wheel drive and the way it hooks up and the way it goes, it's actually quite quick in that sort of event. But anyway, hopefully next year. That freaking sucks, but it is what it is. Anyway, righto guys, to show you the finished product of this little bash plate. Rex fixed the broken wheel stud on this hub as well. So it's got all wheel studs, all nuts, all sorted. So it's getting very, very close to, yeah, tuned, Rego. That's a little bash plate, waiting for it to come up so you can see it properly. It's looking pretty good, should do its job. Should be happy days. I wonder if they'll let us take this to Chrome Bar Bonanza. I mean, it used to be Chrome.
It's got a steel bar, so I think it counts.
Yeah, surely.
It identifies as Chrome.
We could just rip the Chrome one off the Blue Ute and put it on just for the day.
Took longer than I wanted. It was a bit more complicated than I thought because the shapes aren't all that great. But I don't know, it's only got like one bolt on the sides up here, which might not be enough to absorb a full impact, but I just figure, look, it's pretty damn strong. It's 5mm alley plate. Like, I don't know if these welds on those angles would survive or whether it'll just push up, but the whole idea is...
I think the most important thing is that if you punch something here, even if they break, it's gonna probably come up into the sump, and whatever you hit's probably just gonna slide back instead of catching the corner of the sump and ripping.
Well, at the very least, this will, if it distorts this, it's gonna, at least this is going to absorb the bulk of the impact and should hopefully save the sump.
Yeah.
The whole idea. So
certainly got to be better than not having anything there.
Yeah, so. It's pretty solid. Like you said, that's a pretty nice angle. So.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the best that I can do for it.
Yeah, well, there you go, guys.
So now it's basically ready for Rego, or basically tune, Rego, wheel alignment, and then it's good to go. And then I'm going to finish off like the cruise control and just the AC system and the other bits and pieces, but I can do that later.
Later on stuff.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Anyway, that's it. Thanks for watching again. Do this sign off again. As always,
as soon as we get a minute, we'll get it on the dyno. And
yeah, hopefully over the next 2 weeks we'll get this thing on the dyno. So thanks for watching as always. Head to the merch shop, check out the merch, go into the drawer, win yourself a HZJ80 Turbo Diesel 80 Series Land Cruiser. Could be yours for as little as $10. All you gotta do is buy a sticker. So go check it out. Hit subscribe, smash like, please. Thanks for watching as always. Looking forward to getting this thing on the dyno. Really, really keen to see what it's gonna do. So, been a long time coming. Cheers guys, peace out, see you bye.